what it was. Y'all know who it is. And y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge of Self. And this right here, this ain't nothing but some cosmic insight, man. And hey, I ain't gonna waste too much time bumping today because patience, that ain't what this energy does best. Nah. This is you gonna talk about it or you gonna be about it type shit today. That's because this right here, this a little something about those people that have Mars in the first house of their natal chart. Yeah. And see, before we actually go there, if you don't know my style, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tell you a little bit about Mars. I'm going to give y'all a little information on the energy that comes along with it and how it might affect you. Then after that, I'm going to give a quick breakdown of what the first house of the astrological chart is actually all about. And then after that, we're going to bring it to a culmination, which fortunately for you, is what I do best. So, without wasting any more time, let's get it cracking. Okay, so Mars. This is the fourth planet from the sun. And Mars rules over the first house of the astrological chart, as well as the sign of Aries. And to a lesser degree, it rules over the eighth house of the astrological chart in the sign of Scorpio. Or at least traditionally, because Pluto is definitely in the mix with those two right there. And, Mars most definitely comes into our chart and calls us to action. Yeah, it represents energy, passion, drive, and our inherent sense of determination. Yes, sir. And it really commands us to stand up, be noticed, and get some shit done, man. Because sitting on the sidelines, that belongs somewhere else in the zodiac. Yeah, that ain't for Mars, man. Mars also rules the military, but more simply put, it speaks to the confident expression of each one of us individually. Ambition and competition, they both come under Mars' umbrella. And, Mars, it really can represent our stamina. And whether it be at work or at play, Mars really encourages us to be at our best when facing challenges. Mars is confrontational energy. Oh, it is. In a birth chart, it represents our sense of aggression, as well as our way of addressing aggression that's brought our direction. And it can also be a big indicator of sex drive, especially in men, man. And it can also let you know how people like to get down, their preferred style or method of moving, man. And wherever Mars shows up in the chart, it really speaks to how we assert ourselves physically and channel our aggression in this life. And, when we're talking about the sign placement, especially with Mars, this is the energy that comes along with it. This is how that energy, plays out and how you work with it. Now, the house placement, this is what area of life or arena of existence that it plays out in the most. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it plays out. What it is, and then how it plays out. Okay? Now, when we're talking about the first house, in astrology, the first house is the house of self. And, the cusp of the first house, this is where the ascendant lies. And this is the point rising in the east at the exact moment that we are born. And, it's through terms of thinking of beginning and sunrise that we kind of start to grasp the concept of the first house, okay? Because it's here that new beginnings are really centered around the individual, the self, and the voyage for discovery, man. The things that really define each one of us, okay? And, who are you? What will you become? How can you realize your best self? The first house really speaks to how you are a unique individual in this existence right here, man. And the first house contains our appearance, our apparent personality, and our preferred approach to life. Okay. It's our outer vessel, but not the sum of our total being, man. It's the package that we outwardly project to the world. Okay. And the first house, it also represents the physical body, and in particular, the head and the face. And it also rules over our early childhood and our adolescence. And, in sum, the first house, it really speaks to, what we're becoming, both internally and externally. And it addresses our personality and our presentation to the physical world and, our demeanor and our basic approach to life. That's all the first. Okay. Now, when you take in Mars and you put Mars, the god of war, in the first house, well, just like the other things that we kind of been talking about this week, the main thing to remember with this one is that, Mars is the natural ruler of the first house. Yeah. And so no matter what sign it don't matter what sign it's in, man, Mars is going to be greatly empowered here, man. you know that one motherfucker that you know that's down for whatever? I mean, they are down for whatever. This probably them. This right here is probably them, because Mars here is going to manifest in a naturally competitive person who's full of energy and ambition with a powerful will. I mean, a powerful will, man. Look, man, these right here are naturally confident and reckless motherfuckers who, you know, fearlessly go after what they want in life. And it really ain't much they scared of at all, man. Let me tell you. And if you have a child with this placement, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, man. Let me tell you, my son, he has Mars, Venus, and Uranus all in the first house, man. Hey, man, this little summer gun right here damn near risk his life on a daily basis, man. I mean, he damn near loses his life on a daily basis, man, because he's reckless. He don't think before he does things, man. He's just about that action, man. And he's not a bad kid, but he just goes after what he wants, man. And he's relentless. And he's the most impatient little booger that I've ever seen in my life, man. You know, and that's really what it is about all these folks right here, man. They're naturally just with the shits. They're naturally with the shits all the way around, man. And there's few things that they love more than winning with this placement. Let me also tell you that there is few things that they love more than winning, man. And if they do, they probably gonna rub it in your face. They probably are, man. And, you know, the fact that Mars here also gives amazing strength and amazing vitality, that only adds to that whole dynamic. I'm telling you now, man. They're catalysts. And, you know, they bring an extremely high amount of energy and will, you know, to the table every time they step up, man. And, you know, a lot of them naturally just love to exercise and just naturally love to compete for the sake of it. And I'm telling you now, this is another thing that I see every day with my baby too. I'm telling you now, cause, you know, we'll be sitting there watching a movie or playing PlayStation and he'll just drop down and start doing push-ups. Just start doing push-ups or flop on his back with his feet under the couch and start hitting crunches or sit-ups, man. You know, that's just how he does, man. That's my baby, man. He's 6, man. Been doing this his whole life, man. You know, when he was 2 years old, we used to put Ninja Turtles on, and this has a lot to do with him being a Pisces rising also. But when we put Ninja Turtles on, you know, he's watching the movie. He's doing every move they do. He could do full handsprings and roundhouse, you know, before he could, you know, be potty trained. So it's interesting with him, man. And I'm telling you, these kids right here, or these people right here, I'm not even talking about kids anymore. These people with Mars in their first, they love sports, man. And, you know, to be honest, you know, incorporating physical activity into their life, you know, it's probably going to be absolutely essential for them, man, because they need that outlet. Oh. If anybody needs an outlet, they need that outlet, because this right here, it can be too much. And I don't care what size they are. Hey, these people with Mars in the first, they have awesome, I mean, absolutely awesome physical strength, man. So, you know, this one right here is often in the charts of amazing athletes and soldiers and fighters and competitors. And even if they choose some other kind of profession or job, man, you know, they're still probably going to be rather formidable athletes or physical competitors with this one. That's just what it is, man. Mars has blessed them. And let me also say that this right here, it brings, you know, one of the strongest, if not the strongest libidos in all of the zodiac, man. Yeah, it really does. Sex is a key factor in these folks' lives, and it just has to be, man. And, you know, if even if they can't maintain a relationship where where everything's good with them, you know, intellectually, or they're getting along with everything else, they have to be able to maintain a relationship where the intimacy is high, man. Like, they can't be in a relationship where the intimacy is lacking. It can't. And also remember that Mars is about being quick and alert. So, these motherfuckers right here, they're extremely quick themselves, man. They're the type that react in a millisecond. I mean, a millisecond. And although it might seem that it should cause it to be the other way, them having that quickness and that quick reaction, it actually is what makes them be a lot more accident prone as what they are, man. So be careful with that, man. These are spontaneous ass people, man, who sometimes tend to react quicker than they think. So, also be careful with what you say, because they might just slap the dog shit out of you for nothing. You be talking and they be slapping. And I'm not saying they are, but yeah, this Mars in the first house, man. This Mars in the first house, man. And moving on, remember that, the first house is the first thing that people notice about people. So, a lot of the times these people right here are going to come across as bold, straight up, assertive, and sometimes even aggressive people to other people, man. They approach life like a battle, you know what I'm saying? Or like a competition at least, man. And they love a challenge. Matter of fact, there's probably nothing more than they love than a challenge. And they're fighters, both spiritually and literally. In a lot of cases, man, first house Mars people are dynamic. They're dynamic. They're always on the go. And if they could just find a way to harness all that energy that they have, man, hey, man, they can accomplish great things with this placement. This is actually a very beautiful placement, man. But you got to keep in mind that they're extremely impulsive, and they're probably some of the absolutely most impatient people that you'll ever have to deal with in your life, man. And that can sometimes be counterproductive if you allow it to be. Plus, even though they come off the blocks really hot, I mean, hotter than anybody else, in everything they pretty much do, and they also come off with great enthusiasm too. They can lack persistence. And, that right there, that ain't gonna help when, when you also, don't have any follow through to go along with that. So you don't have to look to other places in the chart and see if there's something to go along with that if we're talking about astrologically. But we all have all of what we need in us, so it's there. And by the way, let me also say that the closer that this right here is to the actual ascendant point, the more intense it's going to get, man. And the more like an Aries rising that these people are going to, resemble, regardless of what their actual ascendant is, okay? And that right there suggests an extremely, long, lively and active person. I mean, just an extremely, somebody that's jiggy with it, man. But, if they can't find a proper outlet for all that shit, man, it can turn into a really rather violent, aggressive person, especially if Mars is making a strong aspect with Saturn or Pluto with this one. So that's another thing that's definitely worth looking at and some news you can use with this. And let me also say that, to sum this up, Mars in the first, it usually manifests in just a really, truly confident and assertive person with awesome leadership skills and one-of-a-kind charisma. I mean, they're cool in the bitch if you allow them to be, man. And that's just if they can keep that fire channeled and under control, man. They have so much enthusiasm for everything. And a lot of people don't understand. When they're talking about Mars energy or Aries energy, the first thing they think is aggression, and they think it's going to necessarily be mean. No, these are actually most of the time a lot of the most jovial people. And if there is an issue, they get over it so fast that they don't hold grudges. They're just on to the next thing in life, and they just understand how things work in an inherent, in a very simple way, which that's beautiful in itself, man. But, these people right here, man, they can achieve amazing, amazing things if they can just, channel that fire, and they can actually become really victorious and successful in life, man. And there really ain't nothing that they love more than winning. So that's something that they definitely need to make sure that they doing so they can keep on winning in life, and they don't end up stuck in some position because their anger, their aggression got them in some kind of trouble. But as long as they can find some kind of channel for all that energy, this is a bad motherfucker right here. But hey, you don't have to believe a word I just said, because just because you built like that, you don't have to build like that. Hey, if you reach to this point right here, man, you should be hitting the like button, man. If you ain't hit the like button, you should be hitting the dislike button. Okay? I want some kind of interaction. Comment. Let me know how you feel about it. If you didn't like it, tell me why. If you did like it, tell me why. You know, we cool with it, man. I'm not going to get in my feelings about it, even though I am a Cancer. But let's just make sure we're respectful of everybody, no matter what we're doing. Hey, I appreciate all the love and support, man. If y'all are interested in the astrological readings whatsoever, you can either hit me up in the comments below, or you can email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. Hey, I appreciate all the love and support, man. Y'all keep it real, because you know damn well that's what I'm going to do to the fullest.